Yeah. Truth understood for sure. It's understood for sure. Yeah, throw that ass back. She looking good for sure. Club jam packed, but my foot in the door. Half the party, Waffle House. Now she ready to go. It's understood for sure. It's understood for sure. Throw that ass back. She looking good for sure. Yeah, club jam packed, but my foot in the door. Half the party, Waffle House. Now she ready to go. They told me get a tape up. Shooting off summer long, girl, I just can't lay up. Looking like a ticket, Michael Vick and K-Snow. No one talk slicker than them down south players. Soul got the cold like Saban. You came with your
All right, well, welcome. We are so glad to have you on the Understood for Show. We're excited to get to know more about you. Of course, we want you to kick it off. So introduce yourself to our audience. Tell them who you are, how they can get in touch with you, how they can hear you.
My name is Mae C. I am a singer-songwriter from Kansas City, Missouri, born and raised. You can follow me on all social media at She Is Love Mae C. She is LOVEMAEC. You can get my music on all platforms, YouTube, Apple Music, Tidal, whatever it is, it's on there. So go check out my music. Check me out.
So, I mean, of course, starting off, we got to ask the generic question. Like, so how'd you get started?
Well, I've always done music. I grew up just in choir, doing stuff for school and doing stuff for church. But I really got into music professionally once I kind of connected my poetry and my love for music together. And that was probably like 2014, 2015, that's when I kind of got connected with people that were in like the music industry in Kansas City, in St. Louis, wherever I was at really. And that's kind of how I got started. It started off me doing features for my rap scene, rap community. And so that helped me with my confidence and just knowing who I was as an artist, because I had a lot of individualism that I could show within that scene. But around 2016, first album I ever did, released that, and I've been just going for it ever since.
Yes, and you are killing the game. I'm definitely a fan now. It's like every time we have a new artist on, I have to like dig into your music, and I always just like fall in love. So you definitely are doing your thing. So I want to know, because like when I listen to your music, it definitely takes me to almost like a spiritual place. And so I want to know, like, who are some of the artists that inspire you or like inspire the music that you put out?
I would say growing up, my dad's like rap albums, like hardcore rap albums, like, but like I think that inspired like a lot of like my writing. As far as musically, it was like Prince, Michael Jackson. That's literally all I listened to, and just like stems of music from those genres, from like the 60s to the 50s all the way up. Like I got to tap into those kind of genres, as far as like even like pop R&B, like in the 60s. Like R&B in the 60s was fire. So and I think that inspired a lot of my sound, like Aretha Franklin, my girl.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Do you think it inspires like your style too? Because I've noticed kind of like some of your pictures give off kind of like that, nostalgic kind of feel.
My biggest inspiration when it comes to like photo shoots and stuff is like Diana Ross.
I see that.
Just like how big and bold she was, but like very soft and glamorous at the same time. So
okay.
Yeah.
I gotta ask, just for those that don't know, like, what is the music scene like in Kansas City and really like Missouri, period?
Kansas City music scene is definitely growing. You have a lot of big time music people from Kansas City that you would never know that's from Kansas City though. But so you have a lot of people in and out. Lately, especially, with the Super Bowl, with, the sports thing going on, things have been kind of growing within the city, and that just allows the music scene to even just expand as well. I love it here. When I go to like Atlanta, when I go to like LA, Texas, New York, wherever I go, a lot of the music scenes are very similar, you know, just on different scales. And, you know, a lot of people are doing the same things. It's really about being the artist in your city and how you can make that expand and grow, so. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Damn, I lost so many nights of sleep, crying over what he did to me.
Get that money talk, stack it up, bag walk, stay down, did those, came up, I rose, they hit, on who, we bank, not you, black bottle, bottle bar, no cap, ASAP.
Okay, awesome. Well, I think this is a good time to definitely hear some of your music. So is there a song that you have in mind or on your heart that you'd like for us to hear today?
Get Me Around. That's one of my first singles that I ever released. So that's in my favorite to perform.
Okay, awesome. Well, let's hear it.
Just give me one shot, two shot, three, come give me around, give me around, give me around. You give me around, give me around. One shot, two shot, three, come give me around, give me around, give me around. Give me around. I've been dreaming of the long nights I could spend with you, dusk to dusk, the way you're making me move. There's no higher I can go, the rain can keep on falling, but you make me feel so incredible. I'm not gonna act like I never felt this way ever before. One shot, two shot, three, gon' get me around, get me around.
Yes, Mae C, I like that. I like it. I was like, you were giving me around while you were saying it. I like that. Dope.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's all the vibes. I appreciate you sharing that with us.
Yeah. Michael, she was talking about the horns in the background. Like, what's the, you know, when I met you, we met here in Atlanta for New Black Soul. So that's like, man, that's like a huge melting pot of just funky music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, where did the live instrumentation come in? You
The
know?
live instrumentation came from, well, like I said, I started in the rap scene. So a lot of it, I would be, you know, performing on tracks or whatever. There is a open mic called Soul Sessions here in Kansas City. And that's when you're able to, you know, go up there, sing along with the live band. And it was just like, the difference between, you know, live band and then also, you know, track performances is just a big dynamic. And that was just something that I wanted to implement with my music. And so I just like, I think what pressured me was like, you know, performances that I had to, you know, bring the show, but then also I had to, you know, work with what I had. You know, hey, I knew this person, or I just have a DJ kind of thing. And like I tried it out at a contest that I had entered a long time ago. And I asked, as a matter of fact, the horn player on Get Me Around, I was like, hey, can you come and just perform with me? It was just me, him, the track. And it just set the stage, and people were like, what in the world? And I was just like, it just felt so good, especially with that live instrumentation. It just has like, you know, those things have energy, and it's just like, you know, for it to play along with you and create that, it's just another level kind of thing.
I agree. I totally agree. And I see that element kind of sprinkled into a lot of your songs. So that's definitely, okay, a little trademark signature. Okay.
Truth. Take a picture when you see me. Tell me, have you ever had sex with a genius? Never. Seen a rose come from the cement. The man in the mirror whisper back, you wanna be first negligee. Now she's naked. Girl, I can get your body, but I want your soul. Baby, ice cold. I will.
Be forever testing these waters. Don't be afraid to dive into.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna jump into a segment that we call lyrical inquisition. So we've taken your body of work, we've listened to it, and just kind of pulled out a few lyrics that we want to ask you more about, or learn your interpretation of what you meant.
For sure.
Awesome. Okay, so we are going to start with, you have a song called Maybe.
Maybe.
Yes. So and it was featuring Storm. So the line is, if I'm too late, I'll rush it. If I'm too soon, I'll forget it. I toyed around with that line for a while. I was like, what is she saying? So I would love for you to kind of tell us where that came from, the inspiration.
So basically it's just like that maybe I should make up this song about me never falling in love. If I, in this relationship, in this meeting, or whatever this is, like, it never works out. And I'm like trying to figure out like, what the heck? And like, especially like, knowing the potential and all that stuff. But it was just like, I tried to move forward and I'll forget it basically. Like,
Okay.
Yeah. So, and if I'm too late, then, I'm trying to rush it and it's, basically too late. Basically.
Okay, I got you. Okay, I like that. And that's kind of like that constant, like, overthinking that we do, I think, as humans. When it comes to like, should I pursue this? Should I? But if I move too quick, or if I wait too, so I got you.
Anyway, well, whatever.
They go through it too, for sure. Probably a whole lot.
Or put us through it, I think.
Yeah.
Hey. Now, guys, our relationship understood for sure.
Okay. Okay. All right, let's go. Okay. So the next one, I love this song. As soon as it came on, it just had Black Girl Lullaby.
Okay.
So I don't know if that was your daughter or maybe someone special to you who was speaking on the track. Beautiful. You were like, she was reading.
Yeah.
Really, really like that song. So the line that I pulled out is, dark skin, brown eyes, long hair, oh my precious baby, don't let them take your life.
It was the Lions, Tigers, and Bears, oh my. Yeah. And I just feel like it was me talking to her about like, don't fear what other people presume of you, and don't worry about that. Don't let these people like dim your light, basically, because they will. She was like 2. And I kind of just saw things like, that would inflict her and that would, you could see that would bother her. And I'm just like, especially like now she's older. She's 8 and she's in a predominantly like white school, suburban school. And so she faces a lot of those things that I'm just like, don't let these people dim your light, because they will. Yeah.
That's beautiful. And it's so interesting because when I heard the dark skin, brown eyes, long hair, oh my, I was thinking you were just saying like, oh my, that's beautiful. Because all of those traits, all those things you were naming were just like, breathtaking and beautiful about the Black girl. So I think,
right. And that was the expression, but it was just like the beauty in what we have is what, is feared upon, basically. And it was just like, let that like dominate, and just take over. Like, let who you are just, be your biggest weapon, basically. Like, so, and I remember that lion, tigers, and bears on my, like, but these were like strong, like, you know, of course you're gonna fear because they are, you know, beautiful, bold, and strong.
And we are too. Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome.
Come on, where your friends at? Where your friends at? Where your friends?
I supply creativity to what others will say there's a promise of me. Only to make an enemy, which results in a fortunate destiny. They told me out there be next to me, just as I am with someone to envy. Every now and then.
I don't know the words, y'all.
Yeah. Truth understood for sure. It's understood for sure. Yeah, throw that ass back. She looking good for sure. Club jam packed, but my foot in the door. Half the party, Waffle House. Now she ready to go. It's understood for sure. It's understood for sure.
Okay, last one.
The
Have
last.
fun. The last one. Okay, let me flip my page. I said I was gonna stop it with this journal, but it's okay. All right, so the last one I pulled a line from was warning signs of true love. And so I heard the cost of growth draws consequences. Pain comes along with it. Shooting at the target never misses. So
Yeah.
I don't know if maybe you want to go into what even inspired that line or where you were going with that.
So this is a song that was basically my spiritual journey, and my connection to God, and just understanding His love for me. That's what Warning Signs of True Love was. It's just like basically the cost of growth. Even with growth, there's consequences, good and bad. Pain comes along with it. Shooting at the target never misses. Basically, like, no matter what you do, things are gonna come your way. It's just how you get through them. It's how you handle your situations, how you learn from the last time. And I think that was my, when I wrote this whole album, that was just what it was. And just the things that I had went through to get to where I'm at now. I was just like, right then and there, it's just like you never thought you would even get to this point. But when you get to that point, it's just like, okay, these are the things I had to either I inflict on myself, journeys that God really, really just wanted me to, understand in my journey with Him, and then also just my growth personally.
That's amazing when we can just kind of look around at everything that we have, all the lessons we have, and realize like all the pain, everything I went through, it all had to happen. It had to, in order for me to be here. It, in that sense, is worth it. So.
Right. Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's powerful.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that is it for our lyrical inquisition. Thank you for engaging and being vulnerable. I know that's not easy,
that was like the first time I was just like, ooh, now I have to explain my feelings.
Yeah. It's a tough one, but it does take you back to like what you were feeling when you were writing and remind you like why it was so important.
For sure. I appreciate that.
I think this would be the perfect time, right, to shoot to the next song.
Next
Right,
song.
and who better to introduce it than yourself? What we'll be hearing next.
My next song will be Sunshine, from my latest album, Warning Signs of True Love. Sunshine.
Let's go.
Roses are red, violets are blue, honey, oh honey, what did you do? My roses are dead, violets are through, money, oh money, what did you do? Caught my eye, I said to you, caught my eye. These days are getting shorter, the only one is getting stronger. I said, oh God. I said, oh God. I mean, oh God. I said, oh God.
That's dope. I like it. You got a little flow going. Okay. We need to get MCs. Okay. Somebody looking for MCs out there. Mae C got y'all.
Oh no! I'm like, you know, that was just me being fun. Like that's just how I write. That, like I said, I was inspired. But when I tell you, because even like with New Black City, they would we would do Sunshine first, and they're like, okay, so she's, you know, and then, you know, of course they're rapping too, and then they'll put Give Me Around, and everybody's like, hold on, what? So it's just like one of those things. I love doing it, but that's just how I write. That's love.
And see, that's how you gotta be. You have to be willing to take those risks. You know, step outside the comfort zone and have fun. You know, even if it's not what you normally do. I know your fans appreciate it.
Of course.
It kind of took me to a vibe like it sounded like Wu-Tang meets like Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? It had like kind of the, I guess I've been to Pimp Butterfly
they had
so
some
much.
Erica
Right?
Badu kind of like
feels
to it too.
Like
Yeah.
the groove
That
is
groove.
like but
Erica definitely a big. I love Erica. And Wu-Tang is definitely in the fam. That's just we all, like me and my brothers. That's all we listen to. And then who else did you say?
Kendrick.
Kendrick. I hope to have a feature with Kendrick.
Yeah, I just heard that one. I actually saw that when I heard it. Like those, that's already happened. Don't worry about that.
I
Yeah, don't worry about
it too. I was like, hey.
Yeah, that's like to pimp a rose or something. We'll talk.
Well, is there anything else that you want to share with our viewers today? Anything that you'd like to let them know about upcoming projects or anything else you have going on?
Follow me on all social media at She Is Love Mae C. Right now I am in the studio working on my new album. Yay, finally. So just look out for that. Just go listen to my music, support me. And hopefully we'll have a live show soon. Hopefully I'll be down in Atlanta soon.
I guess we would have to ask Stoli Dolly.
Oh.
Tell us about
Because
Stoli
I mean
Dolly.
that's the we have to ask, right? How that come from?
Stoli Dolly was awesome. It was a great experience. I had been asked prior to Stoli Dolly to come up there and do some vocals for another song or whatever, and I was like, oh, okay, you know. Of course, Strange Music is based out in Kansas City, and so being able to like go in and out of there was cool. So I actually had never like sat down with Tech before I started doing the vocals. I had been there before just to do vocal work otherwise, but for his project, I went up there. He was dope. Very cool to work with. He sent me the track for Stoli Dolly, and I was like, oh wow, this is dope. He actually comes through Soul Sessions sometimes randomly. He'll come to like the open mics, the performances or whatever, and support. And so yeah, he's awesome. It had like a Soul Sessions vibe, and that's like, you know, that intimate like poetry, music, live music, all that stuff. And so he actually even mentioned it. Then I was like, yeah. He's like, you can write to it, let me know or whatever. I did write to it, but that is not what I sung on the track. Actually, Chris Calico had wrote the hook.
Wow.
Songwriters and artists out there, hold on, stop what you're doing, right? Because we're part of Writing Sessions America, where that's kind of, you know, we're songwriters, that's our family. We write songs, and that's something that we practice and learn as well, that everything that you write may not even be for you know what I'm saying? Or it may not even be for this particular record or this time. So tell them again, how did it work?
To the studio, he came in, he was like, hey, I have this part, and he's like, you can lay down yours and we'll just choose which one. And he did his. I was like, oh, we're definitely
we're going with that.
Yeah.
You know.
And you know, he's just so talented, like, you know, as a writer and just like as a teacher and producer. Like, he like literally came because like I was learning it while also like the words and the vocals and just, you know, the delivery and too, all that. And so, but he was very on it. He was a good, like, you know, do it this way, do it or whatever. And we knocked it out that day. And Ted came through like right after we were done because he was recording in another room. And he was like, oh, wow, this is not like, this is dope. And so I was just like, okay. So, you know, waiting for like the final mix, he like sent it to me. He's like, it's done. I was just like, okay, you don't need me to do anything else, you know. And so, you know, that was a good experience. He is an independent artist, you know, first, and that was what inspired me from the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, from his story to, you know, where he's at now, and then knowing that he's from Kansas City, and then also, you know, he had the same path as we did, and it's just like trying to find that. It's just crazy. And if you ever get to come to Kansas City, like if you ever get to stop by Strange Music, like it's beautiful. Like what they have created is awesome. And so it just really inspired me to continue, you know, to do what I do. Of course, a lot of us artists like get down on ourselves and we feel like we're not moving, but you know, that was one of those things I was just like, ooh, that was God sent for sure. Because, you know, it was an opportunity that I really needed and I really appreciated for sure.
Yeah. Congratulations. Yeah,
Thank you.
That put up, I think that put smiles on all our faces. Like, yeah, that's a win. That's a win for the indies, from an indie. You know what I mean? So that's dope. I think this will be
this is a good time for her to go into her. You're gonna do some live performances, correct? All right, perfect. All right, guys. Well, y'all don't go anywhere because Mae C is going to be doing some live performances for us. So go ahead and take us out. This is Mae C performing live.
Kansas City.
In the house.
In the house.
Right.
You got me so weak. You make me feel so asleep. How you make me feel this way? Then watch me melt away. Yeah, 5 in the morning, just the crack of dawn. The sun is almost up, boy, don't take too long. Yeah, 'cause I hope this don't go down in vain. I want us to be forever. Testing these waters. Don't be afraid to dive in. Dive in. Yeah. Dive. You kiss me on my forehead. You love me by my lips. You held me by my heart. Then made me regret my first time. Yeah, you won't stop, you don't stop. Drop down, lay back. Could you watch me still? Shut it down. How do you stick around? Stick around. Stick around. Just stick around. 'Cause I hope this don't go down in vain. I want us to be forever. Yeah. Testing these waters. Yeah, you don't
baby. You came with your shorty. I left her, I ain't take the ladies love cruising and the movies he be making. Now usually I don't do this off.